Good morning, this is Cara from the Ministry of Uncover No More. I just was privileged to do some yard work. I'm realizing that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I need to, except for doing small jobs around the house, like my toilets need to be cleaned, so that's like less than 10 minutes tomorrow morning. That Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, even if it's raining, I need to stay outside primarily. There's a lot of things that I can do on rainy days that have to do with outside chores. I just haven't found them all yet, but I will. Here's another lesson I learned. Let me just go out here because I need to stir up some granola because I've got to go back into Oak Hill today, which means I had a treat. Okay, so I split that lavender in half because I have a daughter who I was giving a gift to, so she's getting half of it because it was too big for this pot, and I hope it does well on her porch. I have a problem here with water. I'm gonna get sand for over there, and here's where this blog article is going. Do you see Lemonbalm? Do you see Peppermint? This is not peppermint. This is sage. This is basil. Those are both cooking herbs, but they're also very good for teas, for cleansing, and they are not doing well because of peppermint and sage. If I plunk this catnip right here where water runs, it will flourish. Those three herbs, if you drink them on a regular basis, are very cleansing. Those three herbs, if you give that hot tea, cool it down, and feed it to 2 tablespoons to a person every 15 minutes to a person who is throwing up, they will more than likely stop throwing up. They will begin to sleep. Their fever will go down, particularly if you add some Motrin or Tylenol, and they'll stay somewhat hydrated. Okay? So the 3 herbs that I determined when I got into this new house that I wanted plenty of because they are natural healers. It's easy to keep aspirin and Motrin on hand, and you do want your family to stay hydrated in a crisis like fever, flu, COVID-19, you name it. Anything that is adenovirus or bacterial in nature that might require antibiotics, but then again, it might just require fresh juices, some garlic, and rest. I can pull myself out of a UTI with one of my antibiotic pills that I have because of my acne, which I'm not struggling with anymore, but it did leave scarring on my face. Because it was cysts, it wasn't acne. I was being cursed as a spiritualist by the Catholic Church primarily, but there's some Wiccans that don't like me in Austin, and they know how to do shit like that, and do animal sacrifice to get their way with spiritualists like me, and I'm just having to ignore their shit and call them into repentance because that's the wrong kind of witchcraft. There is witchcraft, and then there is witchcraft, and it's dark, and I don't do dark. I've been tempted to do dark because people have betrayed me too much, but what I will do is fuck your karma if you're not getting over here and apologizing to me, because karma is short term and it will teach you lessons whether you like that or not. So that's not cursing, that's loving somebody to actually fuck their karma for just a little bit. There's a little secret for a good witch, warlock, sorcerer, sorceress, because if you're not good, if you're for evil, you try to do that to somebody, it'll turn on you tenfold. In my case, since I'm a pretty high level sorceress, 144,000 fold. And you can go read Revelation chapter 7 and 14 to get the idea here. World of magic. Just because you're metaphysical doesn't mean you're good. And boy, do I have 13 years of testimony for that. Now, here is a peppermint that I just cut back and put it all on water. I need an herbal again, so I'm going to try to go to Half Price Books later and just pick out one good herbal encyclopedia. I've cut this one back before, but do you notice that these two are not thriving? And it's because of these two. And I'm going to get more catnip. Probably going to have to go to the Natural Gardener in Oak Hill, which is a huge treat for me to get to go over there. They have donkeys. And I'm going to plant it right there, and it's going to be a big old thing. So what am I going to have here? 1, 2, 3. Let me tell you about peppermint, lemon balm, and catnip. It will fuck any storm. Ice storm, you name it. It will come back. These three will come back. But here's what I have to say about peppermint, catnip, and lemon balm. And cats love the catnip. I feed it to my cats. They're in heaven usually. You know, that's a nirvana state for them. Well, for this blog article, I'm going to read the Apostle Paul in the New Testament because he said it well, but I could probably pick out a Buddhist writing, or I could pick out a Muslim writing, because this is in the holy books, okay? And the concept is we all need to do our part. We don't need to be arrogant about it, and all the members count. I'm fussing at peppermint and lemon balm and catnip right at the moment, but yet I'm also respecting them, aren't I? Because because those are complex and huge root systems that I can just keep cutting it back. Matter of fact, I will pull these right here and go put them in the pot. This one needs to be cut back as well. It will come back. Let me show you something beautiful. See, I didn't even hurt that plant. You can't do that to basil. You'll pull the whole plant up. I want you to see this one. I have to wash this little girl off because she gets bird poo-poo on her. And I kept thinking to myself, oh, I guess I shouldn't have planted it there. That's, fuck that. Look at what she's doing. She's gonna crawl up this tree, and I am not gonna pull that. Isn't that gonna be fun to experience, to watch? I just planted. I think that's rosemary. I need more rosemary, and that's just some sunflowers that weren't doing well. And this is, I think that's sage. No, that might be oregano. And I may have to move oregano and thyme. I don't know that they're gonna do well here with peppermint, but then again, peppermint seems to be behaving, and that's the thing, is waiting until they behave. But I'm respecting the herbs. The herbs. I'm telling you as a human what you should have. If you've got pots, the first 3 herbs you do is 3 herbs. You do catnip, you do lemon balm, and you do peppermint. And you grow them, and you get yourself some hot tea. And when you're sick, and your mama comes over, or your friend, or whatever, you say, I have to have this. Sweeten it a little with honey or whatever. I can't use honey. It makes me sick to my stomach. And it's too concentrated. I use blue agave or sugar, just a little bit of sugar. I have to be careful because I can trip the issues that I deal with because I've been cursed so much that contribute to the cysts on my face. So I can't. I broke the curse of sugar that my dad pretty much fully gave into a lot of times. The two that my dad gave into were nicotine and glucose. In other words, lots of us are insulin resistant, and it causes a lot of issues. And my dad was cursed with something like that in his habits. He couldn't, and it took me took me until my youngest child was 7 years old to break insulin resistance, the curse of it off my life. I was not tasked with nicotine. I have to be careful with liquor. I don't have hangovers very much. I'm hangover resistant, and so I can drink, and so I have to be careful with it. So I limit that, and right now I'm fasting liquor in any shape or form because I need to cleanse my liver and my kidneys because, did you hear me? I'm finally coming out of the cursing from different spiritual entities, and it took 13 years for me to be able to say that. But you are a person who has no idea, perhaps, what kind of metaphysical world you're living in and what you've been cursed with. Although a lot of times you can figure it out, it's not hard to see. In particular if you have children. I have a child who the nicotine curse was passed to. That child is very judicious in how they are handling it. I have cautioned them. We talk every once in a while. That child is automatically conquering, but it takes years of practice. And he and I know that. These 3 herbs, I pretty much want to command you as a sorceress who's also a mother of 10 children because I care for you. But if you want some sustainability, no matter where you live, you can have 3 pots. You can keep them in the sun. You can keep them going, or a little plot of land. It doesn't take more than this. I could have 3 plants, 1, 2, 3, in this space, which is like a yard by a foot or 2, a yard by a foot or 2. Get a little and just plant these 3 and keep them going, and drink it, sweeten it. Learn to like it. We drink too much coffee in this country. We eat too much sugar and grain, like white flour. Insulin resistance is a huge population curse. Now remember, I told you it took me 7 years. Okay? So go gentle on yourself. If it takes you the rest of your life, journey with me away from the insulin resistance of the United States of America. You will be happier. I guarantee you that. And it takes 3 herbs, just a teeny tiny bit of education about what to do with them, which I will provide in this blog article by simply telling you what I have done for children, for myself. I'm going to do it more because I'm in a cleansing, and I just harvested a peppermint. I'm probably going to go strictly peppermint, or I might add some Lemonbalm for the next week or 2. That was enough herbs that was enough for the next week or 2. So I'll just come out and naturally do that. But I'm going to also respect these herbs, even though they're proud. Do you understand that there's an arrogance about these 3 herbs? There's an arrogance about them that is not good for basil and organic garden sage. And I love savory teas. You can take 2 leaves, 3 leaves of this basil right here, and you can put it under hot water, and you can drink that, and you will sleep if you do that every night. But it's harder to keep it going, and so that's another one. But I'm telling you, even though I can tell you that the people that are like these herbs, these 3, okay, that's a trinity. I just named an herbal trinity, didn't I? Okay, so there's arrogance that needs to be handled in your life and in my life, that if you've been attacked a lot, you're not going to want to admit that to anybody but yourself. Okay, don't be talking about this journey with your friends, because they have their own journeys, and there's too many people that are that they're pulling from each other, and it's just it's a cacophony of cyclical issues that we are dealing with, and it is because of the political realm of the United States. I know that for a fact. Oh my goodness, something that I am doing has a leak. Okay, one of my bowls has a leak. Let me clean this up. This is sunflower roots, and I'm going to clean those up and dry them and use those medicinally for myself. This trash can is not leaking. This is the peppermint that I just harvested, And that will last me literally 2 to 3 weeks. It'll just dry naturally in a bowl. I have a bowl upstairs that matches that one, and I have a beautiful story of my mother in Crestview Drive with these dishes, and I collect them at Goodwill, I find. And it's always a good price. It's a beautiful situation in my life that I just love. So, let me see. Something is... Okay. So, anyway, I'm just going to clean this. I'm going to clean this. Maybe it is leaking. Okay. I'm going to clean the peppermint, and it just goes up in the matching bowl to that on my dresser. And I just heat my water. I'll probably have a separate container, like I said, with the Lemonbalm. That is a naturally refreshing tea. I can drink it morning, noon, and night. Now, I wouldn't put basil with that because you're gonna, you don't want to encourage sleep and refreshing, nourishing, hydrating, cleansing at the same time. You will go into negative emotions, okay? So keep your basil, that is for sleep and rest, keep it away from, please keep it away from your peppermint, your catnip, and your lemon balm, okay? And it's easy to see, ginger is that way, energizing. Keep your energizing away from your resting with herbals, okay? So it looks like to me, I'm going to be writing my own interactive blog book about my herbal knowledge. I am going to get an herbal, but no, it's about my pagan life. Okay, so I see now. I had put to sleep runestones and music today. So I'm going to put this in 2 different places. I'm going to put this video on Unisocia, and I'm going to put it on runestones and wake my runestones blog back up, because I have some beautiful artwork and I can apply runes to pray for you and to pray for me in the Western world. I am tired of the narrative, and so is Bay. I am tired of the fucked up narrative of the United States and Europe. Exhausted even. And you need, and I need to live with each other day to day. And I'm here for you. But I also need to get out of the betrayal that I have experienced, don't I? And love myself. So, rejoice with me. I have just now found a way to bring back runestones and musictoday.com. I was mourning over the sleep of that one, and I've just found the solution. Have a nice day.